and a guy who's a biologist brought me this research, and I looked at it immediately because I know that something's not going to be there 20 years from now unless it's serious mainstream product research. Do you agree that everything else, false, hype, false, motivation, false, rah-rah, that's short-term, that can't last a lifetime? So I looked into the credentials of the company and the research, and I like the fact they've been around 18 years, but they have a debt-free corporate portfolio, and they're into serious research with Arizona State University and Cleveland Clinic and Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center in New York. So if you really love wellness and fitness and prevention and longevity and pre and post workout sports, you're in the right place too. So basically, we have watched, our age group has watched the younger market do things that in corporate America have not to this point ever been achieved. And that is growth in the 18 to 30-year-old demographic that's driving a company. Most companies are driven by older clients because they're the ones that have the money. Bemis growth last year went from 100 million to 240 million because of your age bracket. So corporate America is kind of sitting back watching Bemis youth revolution, and other companies are now copying this model. They're saying, wait a minute, we've left out a whole market segment. A market that has 54% underemployment. A market that's very astute as far as social media. A market that already spends $13 billion a year in Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar, 5-Hour Energy, AMP. They're already spending those dollars. And we're looking at a market, the demographic is socially connected. They're excellent at social media. But we're looking at a young market that has more debt than credit card debt now. When I came out, it's really because it was the University of Missouri. No. When I came out of college, guys, and KU, NU, everybody had 3 or 4 job offers. That was the old paradigm. You got your degree, you built your resume, and they had corporate day at campuses, and they were there interviewing, and you could walk out with a job that day. Everything's changed dramatically. So the danger that we have seen watching this for 8 years is a lot of young people are very resistant to come out of the old paradigm. I really think I need to get my degree, which is fine and wonderful, and I really think the only future I have is to get a job and hopefully get a pension and stay with somebody for the next 40 years, when in reality the paradigm has shifted to entrepreneurism. All over the Midwest and in Ivy League schools for the first time in the last 3 or 4 years are teaching entrepreneurial classes. Why? Because they know the economy has changed. So BEMA has been watching your demographic. Other corporations are watching your demographic. They're finding out younger people are open-minded. They're like-minded. They don't seem to want to work for the man for 40 years like the parents did. And so it's changed dramatically. So you should congratulate yourself because you're the first generation to look at a whole new paradigm, and that is entrepreneurism, where on Monday morning you're just as free as you are on Friday afternoon. And we've watched it happen. Now what's the downside with the younger market that we've watched so far? The 18 to 30 market early on can have rather bad attrition where people come and go and get out of business. Why do they do that? Because they don't find out the facts and the truth and the data. They listen to fiction and theory. They do their due diligence. Their parents do their homework, and they find out, wait a minute. They're involved with the Ali Parkinson's Foundation. They're involved with Children's Miracle Network. They're involved with the NBA. They're working with Arizona State University. They're involved with the Robert Redford Sundance Film Festival. They're in the Physician's Desk Reference. They're involved with the NBA and the NFL. They're involved with the International Olympic Committee. And you look and you go, my goodness, that's credible. Oh, I didn't know about these double-blind studies. And you go, that's credible. Then you go home and your friend tells you it's a scam, and you go, maybe my friend's right. So what we've seen with the younger market is they don't do their homework. They listen to an ill-informed or not-informed or poorly informed or uneducated friend, and it actually destroys their hope. So I would just encourage you, if you look at this, you want to look at 2 things. Number 1, do I tend to be deadly serious about fitness and wellness and longevity? Yes or no? Number 2, am I deadly serious about looking at the future instead of next year? Do I really think sound financial options that won't require that I use overhead, employees, a accounts receivables, inventory, capitalization. I don't want any of these headaches. I want to look at something that's sound and stable. Those people who go, you know what, those things resonate with me, they're coming on board in record numbers. Another challenge with young people is you may have a friend and he or she does not care about health and fitness. He or she is not looking toward financial options, but you still try to talk them into it. Can I get an amen? Amen. That doesn't work. In three things, you all, if you agree, in faith, politics, and your health, we all have personal convictions and personal opinions and personal passions. Good luck getting people to change, right? You can't do that. So what we're doing is we're growing an international business of young, like-minded, socially connected people with credible technology, credible product, credible business model, who do already care about their health and fitness and wellness. And they do already, they're serious about, you know what, I've got to look at other financial options because this coming out of school, depending on a resume and getting a job, is not working right now. And if you go to college and get a degree, fantastic. But all of the market analysts are telling us right now, have a plan B backup, for heaven's sakes. Have a plan B. So the exciting part of watching Verve and Gold after a year and a half is it's not on trial anymore. It's taken one international company to $240 million, and now all these other companies are looking into the young market. How do we get into the young energy market? Because they're watching and fashioning after Vima. So you have set the pace. You should congratulate yourself. It's the first time it's ever happened in corporate America, where a company has gone after your market, and you've got 19 and 20-year-olds in college making six figures right now, not pie in the sky, all over Ohio State, Arizona State, Penn State, small colleges, a lot of stuff going on in Washburn. All over America, young people are paying off their college debt while they're still in college. Now, for our age bracket, it's more retirement income, leaving things for our kids, paying off debt. It depends on what the market is. We all have the same thing, and that is a yearning and desire to be free. Now, there is no downside. People ask me, what's the downside? Well, I would say if you have no membership costs, if you have no inventory requirements, if your membership's free, if you get free websites, if there's no inventory employees involved, there's no downside. So people are always looking for the downside. Some guy wrote me today on an email. He goes, well, it all sounds great. What's the hitch? I go, well, there's no hitch. It's just whether you want to do this or not. So the other thing we would encourage you to do is if you say, you know what, this resonates with me, at least minimally my health, my fitness, my recovery rate, my endurance, my hydration, at least that's important enough for me to try state-of-the-art product technology. At least I'll do this. Then we tell you, plug into the system and do things like we're doing today. Stay with the people who are doing well, who are very connected to the corporation. They know what they're talking about. Don't try to do it on your own. Because if there's any other downside, we've seen people not surrender their ego and go out, you know, I'm going to try to do this on my own. A couple of you in this room already have found out. What happens if you try to do it on your own and don't hold our hand and do this correctly? Because we want to help you. We don't want you to ever jeopardize a friendship or ruin a relationship. We want you to learn the professional, non-threatening ways we're letting people know about this, where you'll never jeopardize a friendship. You're just finding out minimally, is wellness and fitness and financial options, is it resonating with my friend or not? If not, leave them alone. But if it does, they're coming on board like crazy. So 4 things we look for. And you think about yourself right now as we contemplate this, as we look at what's working. Number 1, across America with the younger demographic, and whoever it is, whatever the age, we find out they're exploding in growth if they're deadly serious about the future. Number 2, we're finding out whether they're 18 or 58, we're finding out those who are achieving and growing, they have the vision and maturity to see where this is going. A lot of market analysts see Verve as the next Facebook. It's growing so fast. And we've opened up 54 foreign countries. Since you're social media and internet driven, guess what? It's all growing all over the world. Brad has a couple guys in college who led to a guy who worked for Carnival Cruise Line, who knows people all over the world, and now there's 500 people in Australia and 100 in England because some kid in Pennsylvania in college knew a guy who worked it. It's international. It's growing like crazy. So the vision and the maturity to see where this is going and facing reality, not listening to ill-informed people, that's the second criteria. The third is my favorite. Do you have the guts to stay with something for 2 to 3 years, or do you tend to quit everything you try? I'm not asking any individual. I'm just saying, look at yourself. I don't care whether it was sports when you were a kid or whatever you tried. have you stuck with things? Because the track record in Verve has been those who stay around for a year to 2 years are seeming to do awfully well. But you don't do well, I'll try this for a month, see if it works. No, it's not on trial. It's working after 18 years. It's going Jesse. So number 3 is the guts and to stay with something. And number 4 is, this is the toughie, society doesn't owe any of us anything. We are responsible for our own lives and those of our loved ones. The World War II generation knew it. My generation didn't know it as much. People have been tending toward, what can someone do for me? No, we're responsible for our own families and our own lives. So, number 1, vision. Number 1, deadly seriousness. Number 2, vision, maturity. Number 3, guts, stay with something. Number 4, you're really responsible for your own lives, as I am too. So those are the things we're looking at. Some of you, we've said this, and some of us have come back to us and said, you know, it's true. Some of you will look at September 22nd, 2013, meeting at this wonderful clubhouse in Lawrence, Kansas, and you'll look back 3 years from now and you go, thank God I looked into it, did my homework, it's changed my life. And some of you will say, this is kind of interesting, but no big deal, and you go about your way. But we always reference back to 2005-4 in Harvard, when Mark Zuckerberg started with 4 or 5 people in this dorm room, and a few of them said, you know, when we see where this is going, we will stick with it. We'll have the guts to stay with you. We see the vision. We're deadly serious about the future. So we would encourage you to hang in there, stay with us. And I want to bring on somebody. I've been watching for a year and a half now. He wouldn't listen to Dad before. He had to hear from third party. But it's exploded, along with some other great people in this room, the younger demographic that's exploded this company worldwide and is leading to a revolution in wellness, fitness for the young ones. Star executive, my boy, Brad Sarver.